Now I get a fumble. Now I get a fumble. Y'all know how many times I've been hit sticking people? Do y'all know how many times I've hit stick people in the last 5 games and I never sniffed a fumble? But the guy who has 40 hit power lays out Tyler Lockett and gets a fumble. Someday, I swear to God, someday EA will stop raping me. I might actually stop crying sooner or later. I might get on my. I might have to find another game because this game ain't doing it for me. And I done played all my weekend league games, y'all. I'm not trying to. Jesus Christ! It is 2:10. Y'all know what time I started doing this? How do y'all do this? How, bro? How, bro? This don't make no sense, bro. How? I don't even know what's. I've played every game in this bad boy, and I just like it don't make no sense, man. And look at this. Look at this. Look, just look. And then I get froze out like I don't have time for this game, bro. The next time I get online and stream, y'all, it will be Dead by Daylight. I guarantee you I will never play Madden on stream ever again. Jesus. Hey, go check out my Twitch. I did what's that thing called? Dead by Daylight Survivor. I'm gonna start playing as a survivor too. Right now, my head is banging. And then they boot me out of it. Bro, bro, it don't make no sense. We out of here, y'all. We out of here. I'm gonna get back on. I'm gonna usually be on at night, y'all, late nights. And I don't stream because I have amazing levels of rage when I stream for Madden. That's why I don't stream Madden. I have immense levels of rage for Madden. Like the rage is uncontrolled. Y'all heard me like just going buck wild. My neighbors probably heard me going buck wild. That's how bad Madden is to me. Madden makes you rage uncontrollably, and I wish somebody would invite me to it. But yeah, it's I don't know. I don't know. It's just like one of those games where I love Madden. I like the game this year. I enjoy spending money on the game. But to be totally 160% clear with you, the amount of rage that I experience when playing Madden is no joke. That's why I stay away from Madden on stream because I don't seem like a good person and I seem like I'm crying all the time. But I just don't. I guess it's because I've played all the old Maddens where you have more control. That might be one of the issues that I have. Like, how can I put it? The rage is because you know, and I know that that's one of the biggest issues with my rage is that I rage at the game because I know certain things shouldn't happen like that. Whereas, okay, an edge protector stops a insta shed. Now, on the opposite side, he has no edge protectors, and I can't get a shed to save my life. Now, mind you, I don't have the edge threat over there, but at the same time, I have played with one step ahead, and we're never one step ahead. We're like one step in back, or I have one step ahead on everybody, and boom, I get hit with somebody who goes 5 wide, and I never see a shed in life. They should go back to last year's model. And I think last year's model was good because it forced you to do things. This year they took that out, and I don't know why they took that out. What was the purpose of taking out that situation where you actually had to know how to double team slide? If you played somebody who had dangerous edge threats, you had to make sure that you gave them help and everything else. Now, if you gave them help and he had a dangerous D tackle or DN in there, he was going to get loose. But now it's more or less like, hey, D line doesn't matter. We're gonna give you all the time in the world, and that's the only reason that a lot of guys are actually having fun this year. And I think that's one of the reasons why I'm enjoying the game because it's based more on fun than actual gaming, than actual knowledge of the game. And I've never understood why people complain about, it's not football knowledge. Well, in reality, do you understand football knowledge means you can't quick hike every time you come to the line. You can now in the NFL, they're gonna run the same exact play every play until you adjust. Look at the Packers. They could not stop the run. So what did Green Bay do? They ran it down their throats nonstop. The 49ers ran it down their throats nonstop. My biggest issue is that people say Madden does not reflect real life. It's going to be kind of hard when you pick and choose what you want it to reflect. Oh, I want it to reflect ratings, but I don't want it to reflect common sense that if you throw a ball directly at a guy, he should get a pick. I don't want it to reflect common sense that a receiver would never continuously run if the ball is thrown one direction to another. Common sense. No quarterback who has a Super Bowl or that is good, that is talented, is going to fear pressure. Do you see? Tom Brady is old. Even with Tom Brady being old, he doesn't fear pressure. And that's the strangest thing to me, is that everything has to have a counter, but in this year's game, there is no counter. If you run around like a madman with your user and rub on people, you should be hit with a pass interference no matter what. I am very irritated that guys try to do this every time. Like, I'm going to bump him so that he can't get into his route early. If you touch a receiver, you should fall. I think you should fall. I also have an issue with guys running the ball and the pursuit angles are bad. Why not just fix the pursuit angles? Because, shocking moment, you guys. The pursuit angles were reduced and made bad because if the players played as aggressive as they did, reverses wouldn't work unless you trick the user. RPOs wouldn't work unless you trick the user. This was where you set up the RPO. The bad part is EA didn't like that theory. EA didn't like that idea that people would actually have to know how to set up a RPO. People would actually have to know how to set up this, that, and the third. I have not seen an RPO in the NFL in the last 2 years since, mind you, since the Eagles won that lucky Super Bowl. Why are RPOs not as popular? Because they're waiting on it. Do you not understand why RPOs only work in college and spread? Because they're faster. Not because they're better. They're faster. So they're able to spread you out. And they force you into a position to where, hey, our guys on your guys, man on man, who can win. In the NFL, that would never work because now the defensive back is basically going to sit on you if you take a step backwards. But I've only seen it once. And when it was done to Marcus Peters. Marcus Peters got toasted on an RPO in week 1 before he got traded to the Ravens. Do you know what Marcus Peters does to RPOs now? He sits on them and he jumps them. So nobody likes to run RPOs against the Ravens because he'll jump it. You got to run it to the opposite side. Who? Marlon Humphrey, who's huge. Come on now, there's no receiver who's going to block him. And while we're on the subject of blocking, can somebody please explain to me why your receivers just stand there when you get in the open field? Why do we think that it's okay for people to click on and click off of their people and make a tackle? This was why the spin move was so hated, because it forced people to make tackles on their own. This is the biggest issue I have with Madden, is that everything's being reduced to let the computer do it because the computer can do it better than you. My biggest issue is that user is slowly being phased out of Madden. Once it is completely phased out, this game will be atrocious and not fun for anybody, except the people who sit back and want to play and build their teams. I have no issues with the game in general this year, but I have issues with them trying to make it more easy to play. Listen, if you don't know what you're doing in the run game, then maybe you shouldn't be stupid enough to run the ball every time. Is it my fault that pursuit angles were actually working, that they were actually containing the run, and people couldn't run the ball? No, because that's called run defense. That's called user. Do you understand why multiple teams are able to smash the run? It has nothing to do with this, that, and the third. It has to do with a funnel player. Now, it's also called a middle linebacker. A funnel player. Watch Ray Lewis and how Ray Lewis shoots a gap, gets behind there. Watch any Ray Lewis footage. Watch any footage of a team with a great middle linebacker. Remember the year the Packers won the Super Bowl? That was the year they had Nick Barnett, and Nick Barnett was at his most athletic, and he was savage, and he was dangerous. Nobody wanted to test Nick Barnett. That's called a middle linebacker, a funnel player. Why? Because he will get in those gaps and force you to stretch it out. And then everybody else stays in their assignment and forces you inside or forces you outside. That's the problem with the run game in Madden. Nobody does that. The players wait for the other guy to make a move. That's how you know the aggression or the player's awareness was lowered so that things can happen. No player in the NFL would stop and say, oh, let me wait until you get out of your break. No player in the NFL would ever allow a deep pass to happen if he's the only one back there. He has to be confused. Players don't know how to confuse you. Here's the biggest issue with Madden in general. They took away the ability for us to click on and make plays. You want to know why? Because it eliminated a lot of players who did stupid things. If you throw that ball before it's supposed to be thrown, you're in trouble. If you throw that ball on somebody who's fast, he can make up ground and get there. That's what speed is for. But people kept complaining and are still complaining today about speed. Speed cannot be taught, but speed is one of the best weapons in the NFL till this day. And a lot of people who don't know much about football would never understand that basic knowledge of the NFL game, that speed can be taught and it's used to make up ground. That's why you're so dangerous when you're fast and why they go out on a limb to get fast players. Now everybody's like, the only thing that matters is speed. Don't make speed matter. Now speed doesn't matter. If I get a step on you, the animation pulls you into me. And now that I look at it, I've been ranting for about 10 minutes. I've already given myself a headache, you guys. I'm going to catch you next time. You guys have a good one. I'm going to do my best to try to stream at least every night or sometimes, you guys. Sorry for the long, drug out stream and going 3 and 2, 2 and 3. I really got my butt kicked today. I'll admit that. But you guys have a good one. Catch you next time. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the 2 new subs. And I'm out of here, guys. Can I record this? I wanted to record that part. What can I get? They not gonna let me get that little part off. I'm gonna try my best to get that part off and make it, because I do want that little snippet at the back end of my video. I want that. I wish I'd have thought about it. I don't think it's gonna let me record that, y'all. I just thought about it. Like, that was a pretty good intro into it. A 10-minute rant. Jesus Christ, that was amazing. Let's hope we got lucky, but I don't think we did. But I'm out, guys. I was trying to see if I could get that last little part